Right. Hi, mate. All good?
Good man. What about you?
Yeah, all good. Starting to get busy
Awesome.
then, so
Yeah,
which is a good thing.
busy's good. Yeah, busy's always good.
And we were just speaking about the contractors now, obviously, so we'll dive into that, give everyone a bit of an insight in it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
firstly, obviously, you joined the service company creator, what, 2 months ago?
yeah. It's been a while. It's been a while.
About 2 months, month
Two,
and a
two
half,
plus
2 months.
months. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
So just tell me, about your journey so far, working with me and the service company creator team, and obviously what actually inspired you to join us.
Yeah. Honestly, it's been really streamlined. There's been like a clear process to everything from start to finish. Like the steps involved in getting a service business off the ground, right? So as opposed to like having like a million steps beforehand just to get everything set up, you sort of hit the ground running, which is a
Yeah.
good thing. It sort of made progress easier because the first thing you want to focus on is getting on the phone with that first lead, that first potential client.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, there are a lot of other programs out there that teach you how to start your own thing, be it online, not that many physical, but online for sure. But it just seems like there's a longer road to getting in front of a client from what
Right.
it's
Yeah.
from what
Yeah.
it's looked like. This was more succinct. This was more just more of like dive into the deep pool and just get it done, which is what I liked.
Yeah. That is
um
kind of how I teach, isn't it? I'll just
yeah,
say, no, this is the way that we're going to do it. This is the way that I've done it before, and I know that it
yeah,
works. So
yeah, it works, one thing, and second thing is there's no point questioning it unless you've done it yourself.
yeah,
So the first thing, and it's something easy to do as well. It's not something that requires days and days of planning. Just a couple of days just to set everything up, and then whether it's going to work or not within the first day after that. Like you don't have to wait another week or 2 weeks to like, oh, I have to wait for this person, that person. No, you either try it on at the start, ASAP, and you know whether it's going to work, whether it's not going to work, and you're on to the next thing,
yeah,
or you just sit back and lose, which is no one wants to do that.
yeah. Exactly. I mean, I tell so many people about like when you turned on your advertising, for example, and
Mm.
you had whatever it was, like 10 leads in the first
Yeah,
3 4 days,
yeah,
and honestly, people just don't believe me because they're
no,
always,
yeah,
like, how long set up? And I say, honestly, you can get set up in about 48 hours. And they're
yeah.
like, no, you can't set up a business up in that time. I'm like, yes, you can. And you were proof of it. Simple as that.
Yeah. Honestly, honestly, it's not like I've done this before either, mate. Like I was just like, people say it takes 1 day, 2 days. I'm like, really, it shouldn't take that long. So I tried it for myself, and really, it really does not take that long. Like anything longer. And see, I've tried doing this in the past by myself, and it took way longer because I just overcomplicated things for myself. And just like everyone else would just overcomplicate
Yeah.
things for themselves. But it's really not that complicated. It can be done in like 24 hours, and you're off the ground.
Yeah, it's legit. And then how quickly did you generate a lead once you turned on your advertising?
Yeah, like literally like the day itself.
Like literally within a few hours.
Yeah, that day
Yeah.
itself. Yeah, that day
Honestly,
itself.
people just don't believe me when I tell them that. It's and
100%. I can see that because like even before you told me as well, I was like, really, for £150 a month, I can get some leads in. And you're
yeah,
like, yeah. So I was like, fair enough, let's try it out. I wasn't that skeptical, but I was like, okay, I definitely got to try it out.
yeah.
Yeah, and it works.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say you were skeptical at the start, but you were unsure about starting, weren't you?
Yeah, I was, of course. I was like, yeah, because of other reasons as well. I was like, it's something I always wanted to do. Um, but it's just didn't know whether I had the time for it or not. I didn't know
Mm.
whether it required that much time for me to. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. It does not actually require that much time for me to have gone. Oh, am I gonna like just push this off to the corner? Am I actually gonna do this properly? Is
Yeah.
it really gonna take up like 10 hours? No, it really doesn't. Like, if anyone worrying that much, like really, it doesn't warrant that much thinking. It's something that you can do just for a few hours a day or every 1 2 days, even if you want to, and slowly just scale that up. It's not something
Yeah.
that you have to put 10 hours a day in.
No, that's it. And I guess you could, couldn't you? Like if you were
Yeah, you
pumping
could.
in thousands of pounds of ad spend, you're going to be pretty busy from the outset,
Yeah,
aren't you?
yeah.
But
If
not something
yeah,
I recommend doing.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, like what, 2-3 hours a day is probably a pretty good baseline kind of thing.
2-3 hours a day. I mean, it's just enough. I mean, um, after that, at that point, it's just about dialing in the process so
Yeah,
that you're spending just enough time as you need to, and not anything more, not anything less.
yeah, yeah.
For how much work you're trying to get.
Hmm.
Obviously, like you said, you start scaling up ads, you're going to need more hours of your day to take more of those calls. And then, naturally, if you're spending 5 hours on something as opposed to 3 hours on something, the financial gains should justify that. Right. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's
yeah,
always easy. It's
absolutely.
always better to start small so that you get used to the process. You perfect the process with a smaller lead flow so that you scale up. It's just, you're not
Yeah.
wasting ad spend.
You
You're
kind of got
just
that proof of concept, basically, haven't you?
yeah,
Proof that it works. And then
yeah,
once you got your ads dialed in, obviously you get your contractors and then the work, you can, what will get to a stage, especially with you, is that you can start to turn up your ad spend because you got profit. You got that we were talking about ROAS earlier. And
yeah,
if you're doing, 5x return on investment, return on ad spend, and then you can start to turn it up from there,
yeah,
that's when you're going to get busier. But at the same time, it's up to you how busy you want to make it, really, isn't it?
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So tell everyone, obviously, the business you actually started then, what kind of business are you in?
Oh, mate, it's just a regular cleaning company. It's nothing complicated, nothing that requires like
Hmm.
you to have like really skilled workers or like a bunch of certifications or like a huge sort of insurance backing, like something simple that just requires you to have basic PLI. Once again, like getting insured as well. You just want to wrap that in within a day. You don't want to have that. You don't want to have that stretch over a week. So that's
Yeah.
simple. Getting your company registered, a simple limited company registered. And yeah, like basic sort of residential jobs. Obviously starting out with residential jobs.
Yeah. Mhm.
The plan is to work in more commercial because they're way less headache.
So you can
If you
use
work
the
so that
additional strategies to
yeah,
do
exactly,
commercial targeting, and you've got LSA for your residential stuff. Yeah.
exactly, yeah. In fact, some like one of my clients that was a commercial client from LSA. So you do get commercial
Oh,
leads
right.
from LSA
Okay.
as well. In fact, like so you get small jobs, but you get them from a mix of residential or commercial clients. And then if you do that job properly with a commercial client, I mean, you're in their list of suppliers.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I always say, like having a specialist service as well, eventually. So when we do start looking at your commercial aspect of stuff, you've got like graffiti removal or something like that
Pest control,
as a
graffiti
backup,
removal,
pest
yeah,
control, exactly.
curtain cleaning, upholstery
Yeah,
cleaning, stuff like that.
that's
Yeah,
where it's really going to top up the income, really, isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah. Commercial window cleaning, yeah,
So obviously you've been leveraging the LSA strategy. So how have
yeah.
you found that as a whole?
Really easy to use. See, they either give you a call, so you have the number to call them back on, or they leave a message, and then you respond to them over message. I mean, the message, if they would have just leave a message without a phone number, I mean, there's not much you can do. Unfortunately, you just have to deal with that. If they reply,
Yeah.
they reply. If not, they don't. Most of the time but otherwise it's easy to get back in touch with them. So you either have a yes or no. You're not just left hanging in the loop. So it's good.
Mhm.
I mean, it's literally as rudimentary as you could possibly imagine.
Yeah. And obviously before that, obviously you invested in paid advertising yourself at £150 a month at the moment,
Yeah,
and you're sitting around about 5x return on ad spend. Yeah.
yeah.
So how did you find the organic approach before you did the ads?
That was definitely um I mean, the organic outreach methods definitely work. It really depends how much time you put into and how creative you are into finding leads through the organic method, because it definitely does work. It's just a much longer drawn out process.
Yeah, it's not automated,
Um,
is it?
it's not automated, so you're the one actually having to do the work. You're having to like bump up, follow up, and all throughout this time Like you're not getting any feedback, so you don't know if what you're
Yeah.
doing is
Yeah.
working. You're just like, I'm just doing stuff, nothing's happening. But LSA, you're just sitting back and the phone rings. So it's always easier to do LSA, but organic outreach methods, yeah, it depends on your business. So if you're doing like it's focusing solely on like physical services, definitely more niche services, it might take a while longer. That being said, even something regular like even residential cleaning, there's just so many people out there
Yeah, that's it.
that you're competing with for organic marketing.
That's the one thing I always said at the start, wasn't it? Not to reinvent the wheel. Simple as
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Because I get asked so many times, or am I joining a saturated market if I start a cleaning company? The fact is, yes, there are cleaning companies and there's a lot of them in the UK, but how many of them survive the first 3, 6, 12 months?
yeah. Companies in general as well. Like, I mean, when you try to do organic marketing, like the first thought that's gonna come to your mind is like, there's just too many companies. Am I even gonna make it? Like, it just makes no sense. But yeah, if you're just stuck in that organic marketing loop, then yeah, you're not gonna make out of it. You're not gonna get out of it. Because in this day and age, you have to like either invest a lot of time and you tell yourself, I gotta wait a lot of time to get a free lead, or I spend a bit of money and I get a lead.
Yeah.
Spending a bit of money, getting a lead works.
Yeah.
And
100%. Yeah.
LSA makes that happen for much cheaper than a lot of other options out there.
Yeah. What are
So
you paying per lead at the moment? What's an average
like
lead
£3 to
cost?
£4 a lead.
Really? Wow.
£3 to £4 a lead, yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. Because
Yeah.
like the guys that, like with the online sector and things like that, YouTube talking like 15, £20 a lead it can go up to, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's expensive. Like
LSA sitting around that is mad.
yeah, LSA between 3 to 4. I mean, so I was looking at like some blog posts as well. I mean, they're saying max, it's still gonna be single digits, man. It's still gonna be
Yeah,
single
yeah.
digits. I mean,
Well, that's it. How ads work is that when you turn ads up, the numbers do become bigger. That's just simply how it works. But if you can maintain your return on ad spend 5, 6x, you can get that up to 5, 6, 7x rev.
exactly.
And makes a massive difference. Your profit margin is going to be bigger as well.
Exactly.
What have you noticed so far about any particular jobs? Have you had any more like jobs that are more profitable than others, different areas, things like that?
I'd say so far, you get a mix of clients who are willing to pay like a respectable price as opposed to you just lowballing, just doing any job for the sake of doing, just for the sake of getting a job across the line.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's easy to get jobs just to get across the line, but margin wise, I mean, of course, like you're not gonna get every single job. But that being said, yeah, I think a healthy margin of like I've been looking at profit margins of like 30-40% minimum.
Yeah.
And that's
Bottom
just
line,
bottom line. So that's just starting out. So I mean, any business you're gonna start with low profit margins. Like with time, you're gonna scale up and you're gonna try. I mean, the goal is obviously to widen that profit margin, and it is possible. It's just simply with volume. I mean, already with a small scale, you're doing 30-40% margin, slightly higher scale, slightly more automated, 50%, 60%
yeah.
even, definitely possible.
That's more going to be bringing in that commercial work as well.
Yes,
In that
exactly.
specialist sector. I mean, your pest control is going to be really profitable.
Yeah, that's why commercial is
Anything
like
specialist as well.
the next big thing. I mean, commercial is ideal.
Yeah, 100%. So obviously you're involved in the program now, which is great, and you've got your business up and running. What advice would you give to other people that are considering joining the program?
Don't let fear don't let the fear of this probably not happening stop you from doing it. Like if you really don't want to start a business, try and make sure that there's a really good reason for you not to. And most of the time you probably will find that there's no reason not to. 99.9% of the time you will not find a reason not to start a business, because it always leads to freedom down the line. If you do things right. Like at the start, of course, it's definitely going to be a crunch. But I mean, if you're someone that likes freedom, there's no way you're not gonna like running your own thing.
Yeah.
That being said, I mean, speed is key. So like, if you're thinking about doing this, do it. Like, don't if you think about doing this and you see the possibility of it working, don't waste time. Really, don't waste time. Just do it. Don't like complicate things about trying. Don't try and reinvent the wheels in terms of, you know, finding a new business model. Like a service business is something that you have someone that needs a service, you have someone that can provide a service. You're just trying to facilitate that and make the experience that much better. You're not trying to bring something new. You're not trying to produce a new product, right? So it's it's I guess I wouldn't even say advise, man. It's not like I'm running a huge company either, but I'd say the one thing I'd urge people to is if they're considering doing this, just don't waste time, because like you're just doing yourself a disservice. It's, trust me, like everything's in place, the platform is in place, and even the abilities within yourself are all in place. Like literally, it's there. You literally have to do it.
Yeah, well, you're literally proof. You can get set up within a couple of days and
Yeah, just tap into it. It's there.
Get your advertising on, start making money, you know, within the first month, essentially, which is what I
Yeah.
tell people, but they just don't believe me.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, man, if more people listen to you, Nathan, like more people have businesses right now, more people would have had,
I
like,
appreciate it, mate. Thank you.
yeah, would have had, like, would know that this is really not that complicated.
So where do you see your business then? The next, you know, the year, 3 years, 5 years? What you think?
I really want to start picking up commercial contracts by the end of this year.
Yeah, nice.
That's my main goal. I mean, residential jobs are good to get off the line. It's good to give you a feel of the industry. And it's good to give you practice on entertaining leads, you know, setting up the job, overseeing it, like managing and overseeing the whole project. But the commercial jobs, definitely that's where the profit margin is. And it's more of like, instead of running behind every single job like every couple of days, a commercial job probably lasts for a year. You have to oversee it probably once a month, but it's recurring revenue every single week, every single day.
Yeah, that recurring revenue keeps you sane.
Yeah. So like, and when I say commercial, I don't mean like, it doesn't have to be like, I want a job that does 1,000 window cleans like every 6 months. Even like residential cleans, but with commercial clients, like how companies have company flats and they have like weekly, bi-weekly, monthly cleans.
Yeah.
Those residential jobs as well. Like, I mean, if you're making like 50, 60 pound a week profit on one unit over a year, that's 3 grand profit from that one sort of contract. If you have 7 houses a week, it's literally just one job a day. That's what's that, 400 pounds a week, which is 1,600 a month net, right? And that's just you literally. How long does it take for you to sort one job a day? Literally 15 minutes, 20, 30 minutes. Once you have the contractors in place. So 30 minutes a day gets you 1,006 pounds a month in profit. Let's say if you spend like, instead of 30 minutes, you spend 3 hours. I mean, it won't be 6x, but you're looking at least 5 grand, 4 grand a month in profit. Yeah. Which is a very respectable amount for a respectable amount of time that you're putting in.
Yeah, 100%.
That's sort of my target. So I want like regular monthly, weekly commercial jobs by this year. I want a couple of them. I want to have them stacked up.
Yeah, nice. And then just let's grow it from there.
And then next year move into like proper like commercial jobs. Yeah.
Nice, mate. Sounds good. Well, we've got a nice plan of action, bit of a roadmap up to the end of the year then, really, haven't we? And it'd be interesting to have a chat with you again at the end of the year, see where you're at.
Definitely, yeah.
And go from there. Well, I guess finally then, have you got any regrets joining the program or working with me directly?
No. Really, it's been no, like it's essentially whatever I expected. Like it's essentially I expected to join a program where I was going to be shown the no BS sides of providing a service. That's what I got, you know, like that's in fact it's more than what I could ask for. Like right now, like anyone in my position would have confidence that, you know, should a lead come in, they can take that job from start to finish, take profit in their pocket, and all due to learning off like a really streamlined sort of program that was created, right? It's I mean, see, it's not like I've gone through like a million other like coaching programs out there, man. Like honestly, I was someone who wanted to take action. You saw that. You told me, look, cut the BS, just do it. I did that, and I'm like, oh shit, it works. And now I'm just telling people that really just don't overthink, don't overcomplicate things. Just do exactly what I did, and you'll be amazed at how easy you can have something in your hands that you can scale up. It's really not that complicated. Like after that, the work is all down to you. But it's like it's having a racket in your hand versus not.
Yeah.
Right? How many balls you get after that is up to you. But like,
yeah, exactly.
Some people really find it hard getting that racket.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And then I'm always there every week, obviously on the group coach, and give you a kick in the right direction. And
exactly, yeah.
And we've got full support and everything like that as well, which obviously makes a massive difference.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And being part of a community that, you're like, what, week 1, they're like 3 people who are just setting up. Week 2, 8 people. And then few weeks in, there's like double digits in, and everyone's at different parts of the process. And you've got different people coaching different people at different, stages.
Yeah, that's it.
Offering their different sort of lessons. It's just, if you join right now, you're just going to be part of a community of people who are in the process or who already have a process set up for their business. And you're essentially just taking nuggets off them to get your platform set up the simplest way possible.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, makes perfect sense, mate. Well, I appreciate your time, mate. Let you get back to work now and crack on for a bit, and then I'll see you on the group coaching calls anyway.
Yeah, sounds good. Of course.
Nice one, mate. I appreciate your time.
Mate. Cheers.
See you, mate. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.